Just look at the things around you, from the trees over the mountains, down to the water in the sea and the creatures that lives on it, the animals that walk, and we, humans that breathe. Have you ever wondered how and when these things comes to exist? How this planet we call home, we call Earth, was formed and made it so special? The answers of the wonders that invading your mind are hidden in the Earth's past. To understand why things exist, how and when Earth formed, from the ocean bacteria, from walking fish, from the dinosaurs' reign, and subterranean routines, together, let us witness the first walk of human that lived on Earth. Let's travel back time and discover how life was formed and how Earth and things on Earth continues to change. Let's start our journey. Imagine you are in the universe. You see nothing aside from the newborn sun, dust, and tiny rocks. Time had traveled and you witnessed the Earth formed when gravity pulled the swirling gas and dust together to become the third planet and one of at least 100 planets circling around the sun. Yes, you are just in time that the Earth was formed for almost 5 billion years ago. Time after time, the temperature becomes warmer and warmer for about 1,200 degrees Celsius. Everything was toxic. The air was suffocating. The Earth is not home, but like a living hell, a place of endless lava. Here at 4.54 billion years ago, the time that giant impact between the young planet called Terre and Earth create a ring of red-hot dust and rock that circles the Earth, forming a ring of ball over 3,000 kilometers wide. The impact spins Earth so fast, and they last just 6 hours. Moving forward, 3.9 billion years ago, we see hail of meteors attack the Earth. It brings destruction, but it also brings water, the essential ingredient for life. After the attack 20 million years ago, water that comes from meteorites seems full on Earth. It was incredible. The blast creates oceans. Later, formation of mountains, and the surface then create a crust. The Earth is much familiar now, but still a dangerous place to live. The wind is just like a destructive hurricane. It was a nerve-wracking. 700 million years after the planet birth, surface is covered with water. Tiny island appeared, and volcanic island was formed. Years comes, this all fit together and form the first continent. Meteors bring an awesome things on Earth, like minerals, carbon, proteins, and amino acids. This is impossible, but these chemicals come together to create life. We are in the birth of sun-powered life. A single-celled bacteria is the earliest form of life on Earth. 3.5 billion years ago, ocean had been invaded with stromatolite, a colony of living bacteria. Incredibly, it turns sunlight into food and the process called photosynthesis. And it brings product called oxygen. The oxygen now transforms to the atmosphere. The stromatolite bring an important element on Earth. We breathe thanks to this bacteria. 750 million years ago, the heat escapes from molten core, weakening the crust. Eventually, the great supercontinent splits in two, and formation of massive volcanoes occur due to this geological activity. 650 million years ago, the snowball Earth was started. It is the longest ice age on planet. Unbelievable that these planets once is raging with fire, but now it is frozen with ice, with a temperature of negative 50 degrees Celsius. After 15 million years, the ice started to melt. Now, 600 million years ago, the atmosphere is warmer and the day lasts 24 hours. The primitive bacteria now evolve. We will witness the emergence of multicellular life, the evolution of vertebrates and insects, plants, crotches, worms, and sponges. Monster sea creatures have existed and amazingly evolving. The plates moved again 460 million years ago. Surface produced with deadly radiation. The ozone layer has formed, and it was an indescribable event. Life on Earth is blossoming. Moving to 375 million years ago, the first fish evolved, called Tiktaalik. For almost 15 million years, they evolve and move to land and make their home. 360 million years ago, from the sea creature, the four-legged vertebrate will evolve to dinosaurs, bird, mammals, and eventually humans. We've come so far, but there are still no trace of humans. Life comes in all form, and Earth is incredibly beautiful. Evolution responds to environmental changes, and evolution made its way and created a simple insect to a monster called Meganeura. Egg is a major evolution breakthrough. We can see a baby Halolimos, a reptile. It will live over 100 million years in the land. 250 million years ago, the evolution continues and the reptiles evolve into giant creatures, sams, or giant beasts. Not until there was an abnormal pressure on Earth. The surface can be filled with so much pressure. There must be a strange and deadly event coming. A single volcano had erupted. Boom! Welcome to the mass extinction. In the Permian, extinction happened. And the paradise is now a lifeless hell. 50 million years after the wipeout, 200 million years ago, Pangaea, a supercontinent, appeared. Our Earth is healing again. Almost everything is back to normal. The emergence of new species exists, and the dinosaurs race is reigning all over again. They evolved from walking to flying dinosaurs, ranging from herbivores to carnivores. 190 million years ago, the Pangaea breaks on, and the Earth plates are removed again. Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran is now taking its shape. 180 million years ago, North American plate moves away from European and Asian plate. The earth, the world that is now today, is taken its shape. The tension between these continents create an ocean called Atlantic. The movement of the earth crust is happening again. The sea floor creates ridges of oceans, mountains, and volcanoes. The movement pushed the plates and Pangaea upon, rearranging our world. Our earth is restless, creative, and unique. The creatures from land down to the sea change beyond recognition, like the ichthyosaurs and the pliosaurs. The ground now become Atlantic Ocean. Change is inevitable. 65 million years ago, after the mass extinction, the first ever mammals exist. They are the prey of the dinosaur. Dinosaurs are ever dominant. Nothing on Earth can beat them. Nothing on Earth. But asteroid from space can challenge them. Asteroids are coming down to the Mexico. As soon as it hits the Earth's surface, an ultra-giant blast engulfs the planet. The massive explosion, again for the second time, destroyed the life on Earth. The temperature hits up to 275 degrees Celsius. Everything is on fire. Everything ignites. Plants die and animals starve. The dinosaurs' reign for 165 million years is over. They are doomed. Their death is the beginning of the story of another species, the mammals. These could be the ancestors' chance. The story of human. 47 million years ago, our mammal ancestors are evolving. Ida, or Wenius massillae, could evolve into monkeys, apes, and eventually humans. This is the time of primitive primates, one of our earliest ancestors. This could be the beginning of our own story, the human life. The planet is almost the same to the planet we live now. Day lasts 24 hours. Temperature range to 24 degrees Celsius. The Earth is almost the same today. Almost. The plates have been moved again, north towards Asia. The collision of plates forms vast mountain ranges. The Mount Everest from Himalayas is now forming, the highest mountains of all. The snow from its peak melts unlike a vast water tower that will supply half of the population. It's amazing. 20 million years ago, 7 continents was formed and every oceans was appeared. But human race is still missing. New humans on Earth. Now, 4 million years ago, along the mountain, there's this ape. The environment continuously changing. These apes also evolving. They moved to search for food, and there, along Africa's east coast, could be the reason we walked on 2 feet. Extraordinary! The movement of 2 plates must be the reason that lead to the first humans. 1.5 million years ago, an early species of humans called Homo erectus showed up. the first footprints like us. Here and then, the human story begins. 70,000 years ago, the North's climate changes again. Sea level fall. The other species of human called Homo sapiens cross out the Africa. Scientists believe that human comes from Africa, multiplied and spread out to India, Asia, and Europe. 4,000 years ago, Homo sapiens enters an ice age. It's getting colder. Everything is frozen. Glaciers has its highest peak. And it was an ice age. 20,000 years ago, land emerges from ocean between Siberia and Alaska. It becomes the bridge of the two continents, a way to take human from Asia to America. It is the last great continent to be colonized, the last great human migration, and there, the first American. 14,000 years ago, North America's Great Lake appears. And 6,000 years ago, ice retreats back to poles in Arctic and Antarctic. And now, we've made our way back home after 4.5 billion year journey. We are now in our world at the very present. We have understand that how these surrounds us exist and how planet we called Earth, our home, was formed. We've traveled the time. We can now piece together the Earth's incredible story. The journey shows us how the chain of catastrophe and coincidences shaped the planet. Our world is restless.
But our story doesn't end here. No one can tell what lies to human race, animals, plants, and the earth for the next 4.5 billion years. Because one thing's for sure, Earth will continue to change and everything will be affected because change is inevitable. Another event will come and the story of Earth and life is still to be written.